Chapter 936. After that, he returned to the previous cab to help Elaine, who had a broken leg, out of the car. Elaine endured the pain in her leg before she got out of the car. After that, she endured the pain again as she got into the other cab with Alex. When she saw that their cab had already started moving, she rolled down the window and cursed at the driver who was smoking by the side of the road. "Bastard. You will definitely get into a car accident and die outside today." As soon as the driver heard this, he scolded, "You ugly hag. You are the one who is going to die in front of me." Elaine was very furious and she wanted to stick her head out of the window and curse at the driver even more. However, her cab had already gone far away, and she could only give up in anger. Alex, who had not spoken all this while, could not help but sigh in his heart. His mother-in-law seemed to have been tortured a lot in the detention center. Otherwise, she would not be so filled with this much rage right now. He could not help but sympathize with his father-in-law, Trump. If Elaine found out that he had been busy dating that Aria for the past 2 days, wouldn't she beat his brains out? The cab finally arrived at the emergency department of Wingsman Hospital at Oris Hill. Emma was already waiting for them here. She saw that Elaine did not only have a broken leg, but she also looked very miserable with a bruised nose and swollen face. She had even lost her 2 front teeth. Emma's eyes were flushed red, and she walked up to them, crying as she asked, "Mom, how did you suffer such serious injuries?" When Elaine saw her daughter, she also felt very sad. She could no longer restrain all of the grievances that she had suffered over the past 2 days. She hugged Emma before she cried out loud, "My dear daughter, do you know that my life is really very miserable? I almost died in the past 2 days. You were this close to never seeing me again." After she was done speaking, Elaine collapsed and burst into tears. When Emma saw that her mother had suffered so many grievances, she naturally felt very uncomfortable. She supported her mother and cried as she asked, "Mom, what happened to you over the past 2 days? Tell me." Elaine wiped the tears off her face, feeling the urge to tell her daughter exactly what had happened. However, as soon as the words reached her lips, she swallowed them all back again. She knew that she could not afford to talk nonsense. Otherwise, it would only cause her own death or prison time. Therefore, she could only lie. Sigh. "Don't mention it anymore. I was swindled by an organization. After the person tricked me into joining the organization, he kept beating me up and forcing me to take out more money to buy their products, but how can I possibly have any money? They kept beating me up and they refused to give me any food." Emma hurriedly asked, "Mom, did you call the police? We should ask the police to arrest them." Elaine cried as she said, "After that, the police discovered the organization, and I was also arrested by the police. They locked me up in the detention center. Unfortunately, I met your grandmother and Olivia in the detention center. They got together with the other inmates in the cell to bully me." Emma asked in shock, "Grandma and Olivia? How did you end up getting locked up in the same cell as them?" Elaine cried until she was out of breath before she said, "I really do not know why I was so unlucky to run into those 2 bastards. They did not allow me to sleep, they did not let me eat, and they even poured cold water over me. You don't know what kind of life your mother has been living in the past 2 days. It was worse than hell." Emma burst into tears when she heard this. Elaine vented for a while and her mood brightened up a little. At this time, she suddenly thought of Trump and she immediately questioned, "Emma, tell me the truth. Who is your father having a gathering with now?"